Coming up on Lexington Now, the new senior center is open. The Downtown Lexington Corporation's Renee Sheppard is moving on, and downtown happenings. Those stories and more coming up on this week's edition of Lexington Now. Hi, I'm Brenna Angel, filling in for Sherelle Roberts. Welcome to this edition of Lexington Now, where we give you a detailed look at what's going on inside your urban county government. The new senior center is ready to serve Lexington seniors in a 33,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility offering a variety of activities. And we were there on opening day.
The new center is great for us elderly people. And what they got going in it and going on in it, it helps us out.
Very well, very well. It's nice, very nice. Get you out of the house. Being a senior citizen, get you out of the house, away from your surroundings and coming into somebody else's surroundings, sometimes it helps.
It's the state of the art, and it's my second home. I enjoy the bingo. I enjoy the book club.
It's so neat. It's just something we've needed for a long time.
How much do you like the new center?
Oh, awesome. Things are going awesome. And the people here, that's the most important thing. We are elderly people that some of them don't have any family, don't have nothing. And they really thrive on being able to, communicate and all. And we all love one another, and we try to help each other, even down to playing bingo together.
So after I retired, I decided to come. It's nice. I love my new building. I play bingo, but anyway, I love everybody around me. We all have fun.
Generally, people are so excited. This place is so beautiful. There's lots of windows, there's lots of nitro light. It's super modern, it's very spacious, and the feedback has been very, very good. We're all still kind of trying to find our way, which direction is which, but by and large, our seniors are really happy.
For more information about the center, visit the social services page on our website, lexingtonky.gov. Renee Sheppard, the longtime executive director of the Downtown Lexington Corporation, is leaving her post for new opportunities. She took a look back at her years with the DLC.
Downtown in general is just alive again. People want to be downtown. I ask people all the time when I speak, when was the last time you were downtown after midnight? Because our nighttime economy has just completely changed. We have so many opportunities to come out, not only to dine, but to go out and dance, go to see live music, go have a drink. So we probably have at least 50 new venues. Some have come and gone, but we have a lot more opportunity.
What was your initial response? What were some of the things you had on your plate that you wanted to see accomplished?
From an organizational standpoint, we wanted to get our name out more. Most people had no idea who we were. So I think now a lot of people do know who Downtown Lexington Corporation, or DLC, is and what we do. And also, Thursday Night Live, I had come to the event for years just as a patron, and I always wanted to see it be bigger. I didn't realize how big it was going to be and what a game changer it would be, because it spills out. The residual effect of Thursday Night Live for all the businesses around is definitely a benefit to the economy. And then, of course, the Fifth Third Bank Pavilion, the DLC Foundation was really instrumental in getting that gift from Fifth Third Bank. And I think this space has just become the gathering spot. Think about going downtown. I hear people say, well, we'll meet at the pavilion and figure it out. Well, it's kind of like when you're in another city, you don't pick a specific place. You go to an area and then you go wherever the crowd's going. And we see that a lot. We know that people will hop from spot to spot, which is really nice. If you think about 10 years ago, you had Cheapside, which is still here, and you had the Rosebud that's still here. But most of the businesses have opened up in that 10 years that you see around Cheapside Park and the Pavilion, and also down Short Street. Short Street has really become its own dining and entertainment mecca. And we had a consultant in 2007 to help us create a nightlife. And when they came back in 2011 and saw it, they were blown away. I've spoken at 4 national conferences and told Lexington's story about how different it is. And there's been several catalysts. I think the Streetscape project that was started in 2008 or 9 and completed mostly in 2010 really was another game changer, because we created a sense of space and pride, and it got a lot of free press in the news. And people think Thursday Night Live started in 2010, and this is its 21st year. It started in 1995. You would get 200 people at Thursday Night Live, and now it is nothing to have 2,000, or sometimes we have 4,000 people down here. And I think you hear people talking about it more. And of course, the event's expanded. It used to be 13 weeks, and now it's anywhere from 28 to 30 weeks. Most people in Lexington know what Thursday Night Live is, whether they've been to it or not.
And I think it's a draw from outside the county.
I do too. We see that. We know that, especially if you have a band that's from one of the other communities, we know that they have a following. And you see that every week. The great thing about Thursday Night Live is that it's such a mix of people. I mean, you have business people, literally you have homeless people, you have families, you have young adults, college students now come. I knew we had hit it big when politicians started showing up to campaign.
Right.
So,
even Bill Clinton was here.
And that's right. We actually had former President Bill Clinton showed up, which was really actually very cool, and made us very proud at DLC that happened.
Join us next week for part 2 of our interview with Renee. And speaking of downtown, if you're looking for something to do, there's no better place to go. Here's what's happening this week in downtown Lexington.
Looking for something to do this week? Downtown Lexington has it all. Visit downtownlex.com or find us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. This Tuesday, join Dress for Success Lexington at the Grand Reserve for their fundraiser Recycle the Runway luncheon starting at 11:30 a.m. Local designers unveil runway-ready fashions made out of unsuitable garments at this unique fashion show, silent auction, and luncheon. For more information, visit lexington.dressforsuccess.org. Then, on Wednesday, Lex Effect's Chew Farm to Table event will take place at the library in downtown Lexington. Tickets must be purchased. For more information, visit chewdinnerseries.com. This Thursday, Central Bank Thursday Night Live is brought to you by Downtown Lexington Corporation with the band Big Black Cadillac performing at 5:30 p.m. Our featured nonprofit is the Lexington Sister Cities. On Friday, at the Loudon House in Lexington Art League's 4th Friday closing reception, The Less You Say, starting at 6 p.m. For more information, visit lexingtonartleague.org. Also, on Friday and on Saturday, the Lexington Ballet will perform The Soldier's Tale at the Downtown Art Center at 8 p.m. For more information, visit lexingtonballet.org. Looking for something to do this week? Downtown Lexington has it all. Visit downtownlex.com or find us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram.
Coming up after the break, the Film Slang Festival.
I'm Detective Mark Thomas with the Lexington Police Department. You may also know me from Bluegrass Crime Stoppers. I'm here to talk to you a little bit today about a new texting system that we have available through any smartphone. In the body of your message, you can text LexPD plus your tip to crimes. When you're submitting anonymous information, we ask that you include several things that would help us conduct the investigations more thoroughly, such as a person's name, their home address, possible license plate numbers, any other people involved, or why you think that they're conducting the type of activity that you believe that they are. All of those things, no matter how small you believe they could be, are relevant to the investigation. So please include those. So remember, you can send your anonymous tip information either through text, you can call the Bluegrass Crime Stoppers anonymous tip line at 859-253-2020, or you can go online to bluegrasscrimestoppers.com. Thank you.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Fire Administration. Have two ways out. When fire strikes, deadly smoke can fill your home within minutes. That's why the USFA wants you to plan and practice home fire drills. Draw a map of each level of your home showing all doors and windows. Discuss the map with everyone who lives with you. Practice your home fire drill at least twice a year. Make sure all doors and windows that lead outside open easily. Push the smoke alarm button to start the drill. Try feeling your way in the dark or with your eyes closed. Have at least two ways out of every room. If your first way out is blocked by fire or smoke, you can use your second way out. If there is smoke, get low and go. Crawl quickly under the smoke to your nearest exit. Close doors behind you and gather at a pre-planned outside meeting place where first responders can see you. Call 911. Remember, get out and stay out. Never go back inside for people, pets, or things. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Welcome back to the show. The Film Slang Festival is coming up. It's Lexington's only film festival that accepts submissions. And this year, for the first time, it's accepting submissions from outside Kentucky.
Film Slang is Lexington's only film festival that takes submissions. We have One World Film Festival, which is great and has been around for a long time, but this is the only one that actually takes open submissions from filmmakers in Kentucky and all of her border states. And that's something we did this year. So for our first 4 years, we did not take submissions, and then the last 3 we have. Before Lexington Film League, there was really nothing connecting the dots of Lexington filmmakers or getting your work screened. And they started that, and I'm just so glad that the library's been able to facilitate the mission that they have.
The first Film Slang was in 2009, and Film Slang started as part of Boom Slang, which Soraya Brewer and WRFL put together for several years. Film Slang has had several iterations, and it began in what is now Broomwagon on the corner of Lime and Loudon, and it was a bunch of video projections thrown up on a wall. We called it Film Slang, called it a day.
So the second event we needed to do, the idea was to do a screening outside of the then Buster's, and we had the parameters were it needs to be a film and it needs to be in a parking lot, and it would be great if it was music related, which means there was only one option, which was heavy metal parking lot. So we showed that.
Now it's 4 days of wall-to-wall festivals with submissions that Tom has spearheaded.
It's a completely different animal than it was at the beginning. I mean, originally it was just sort of a one-off screening coinciding with a larger festival, and now it's its own entity that lasts for days and days and days.
It's also a place to come see what I like to call, true independent cinema. I mean, this is somewhat micro cinema, very low budget film, because as you know, the digital age has allowed filmmaking to change, and I'm a big fan of that, the idea that a filmmaker can make a film for $100, make a feature film for $100, and that those films can be screened in front of an audience. So that's I think the most important thing about Film Slang. The filmmakers who've attended, who've gotten to see their work, a lot of times it's the first time they've ever seen their work publicly. And that's a different experience than putting your movies on YouTube or showing them just to your friends. To have your film screened in front of strangers is the ultimate goal of every filmmaker. It should be. And it's a very powerful feeling, it's a very vulnerable feeling, and I think most of the filmmakers just appreciate that there's a venue for that. So my main thing is that they show up, especially if they see a local filmmaker, they say, wow, this is going on in our backyard. People are making films of original quality, who are taking risk, who, you know, they don't have to answer to anyone but themselves, and that's a powerful thing. And then that they're also just, you know, realize how much great regional filmmaking we have. You don't necessarily have to wait for a large corporation, i.e. a studio, to tell you what to watch. You can seek out other material that will be just as entertaining and probably a lot more original.
Generally, we just really want to cultivate an appreciation for how much is happening regionally in film right now. So all of the films that are in competition are from neighbor states, border states. So I think more than anything, we just want to let people know what a thriving film scene exists in our region.
So we'll have, I hope, a lot more filmmakers will be coming from out of state to see their work. And then we've also programmed somewhere between 6 and 8 features that have been playing on the festival circuit that are, you know, not available to be screened here, and most of them are not even on VOD, or there's no way for Lexingtonians to necessarily see these movies except for Film Slang. We hope that this downtown corridor, which includes the Lyric Theater, the Kentucky Theater, the Downtown Arts Center, and now 21C, which we're partnering with 21C this year on an experimental filmmaker who's coming in on Sunday, October 9th. So we hope that in future years we can have this whole corridor be kind of, for 4 to 5 days, engulfed in filmmakers and film goers. I mean, that's the big goal. And a smaller goal is just that every year we hope to have more regional and local filmmakers that submit, and our submissions went up this year, and we hope next year they'll double, and you know, that's kind of the goal.
Film Slang takes place October 6th through the 9th at the Farish Theater in the Central Library and the 21C Museum Hotel. The Carnegie Center is the go-to for lovers of literature of all ages, and they're kicking off the fall season of classes soon. Neil Chethik, director of the center, gives us a preview.
The city did not have a public library back in the late 1800s, and so we were one of hundreds of American cities that applied to the Carnegie Endowment, and the steel magnate Andrew Carnegie gave $65,000 to the city of Lexington to build the Carnegie Center in 1903. And it was built over the next 2 years, and the thing that was most important is that it would be free to the public. The Carnegie Center is today a learning center and community center. Every one of us cannot reach our full potential unless we can read, learn, unless we can write. You can't be a mathematician if you can't read. You can't be an engineer if you can't read. So reading is the fundamental learning that has to be done, and we take that as our challenge in the Lexington community. We have 80 classes that will be available from September 1st through the end of December. And those classes range from a writing class for a 5-year-old who's just learning how to write. We have classes for adults that are in storytelling, fiction, nonfiction, poetry. So we really try also to help people who may have written 20 or 25 years ago and haven't been writing since then, but who want to come back and make another stab at it. We also have a lot of celebrations, literary celebrations. For example, this fall we have one that's called Carnegie Classics. You may be seeing this around. We're taking the book 1984 and making it possible for you to come to us and walk into the building. It will seem like you're walking onto the set of 1984 or into the novel of 1984. And we try to make the arts be something that is exciting and worthy of a night of celebration. I want to strongly encourage people in the community who have time to consider donating their time to the Carnegie Center. But we bring in about 200 adults to work one-on-one with children, and you get to work with the same child every week for the whole school year. The idea is that you create a deep relationship with that child, they with you, and that mixed with the fact that you're tutoring them and mentoring them helps them associate education in a positive way. Later in the fall, we will be announcing the new inductees into the Kentucky Writers Hall of Fame. We always have an induction ceremony in January, but over the fall, we take in nominations. We want to hear from people about who they think are the greatest writers, both present living writers and past writers who have died. We have language classes, so if you're interested in learning Spanish or French, we have full several levels of each of those. We also do a series called Just Enough of a language. We've had Just Enough Italian, Just Enough Russian, Just Enough Chinese. This fall, we're having one called Just Enough Portuguese. The success stories that I'm most proud of are the ones that I hear of kids who have come here for tutoring when they're 4, 5, 6, 7th grade, maybe stayed for 2 or 3 years, or maybe even were tutored all the way through high school. A student who may have gone to one of our mentors to help them decide which college and which tests to take and how to prepare for those, and is now in college or beyond. I would strongly encourage you, invite you to come by. The building's beautiful, it's historic, and we've done a lot of renovation work, so it's a wonderful place to actually tutor people. Also, we can show you around, introduce you to the people, show you where you can park, and it can be a really wonderful place to take classes, to tutor kids, or just to have as an event, as a space for an event that you might want to do. So come on by. We're at 251 West 2nd Street, just north of downtown Lexington, or you can call us at 859-254-4175, or you can go online, www.carnegiecenterlex.org, lex.org.
Lexington Police have added a new tool to their growing list of resources to help keep both officers and the public safe.
Hi, I'm Commander Eric Lowe with the Lexington Police Department, here to talk to you about our new police body-worn cameras. Body cameras can help citizens and officers when police are responding to an incident. With few exceptions, Lexington police officers are required to activate their camera when making any law enforcement contact with the public. This includes traffic stops and requests for service at businesses and homes. Let's take a look at a typical traffic stop, and then see what that same sequence looks like from the perspective of a body camera.
Hello, I'm Officer Grimm, Lexington Police Department. Pulled you over because you ran that stop sign back there.
The officer can position the camera on his or her collar or wear it on their glasses. The release of body camera videos will be in accordance with the Kentucky Open Records Act. That's a quick look at our police body cameras. You can see a list of frequently asked questions and our complete policy on the city's website.
For more information about the Lexington Police Department, visit their webpage on the city's website, lexingtonky.gov. It's another busy week at City Hall, and there are several meetings, including the Environmental Quality and Public Works Committee, Council Work Session, and the Planning Commission. You can watch these meetings live on GTV3 or streaming on our website, or watch any archived meeting and see a complete calendar of events at the city's website, lexingtonky.gov. That's all for this edition of Lexington Now. We'll return next week with more news from the urban county government. But in the meantime, you can get the latest information from the city by following us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And you can get the latest information on any traffic delays you may encounter by following @LexRex on Twitter or checking out our live interactive cameras online at lexingtonky.gov. For all the staff and producers at GTV3, I'm Brenna Angel, and that's it for now.
The preceding program was produced through the facilities of GTV3.